mass local cases. So what happened was that on the 4th of May, next Monday, restaurants are allowed to open for dine-ins. Plus, many businesses are allowed to have their businesses go on. Just that they have to practice hygiene, sanitizations, and also social distancing. So actually, things are doing really good over in Malaysia, to be honest with you.
Okay, sure. I think in Singapore we are still facing with this circuit breaker that will last till like 1st of June.
Correct. Yeah. I got a friend over there. He works in a production company. So there are times even in the production company he's doing like quality check QC. So even then he's actually forced to go to work because his role is just too important. Like he cannot work from home because he needs to make sure that the products that their factory are making out is in good condition. So even then there are times when he has to go to work off from home, go to work off from home, depending on the days. So I think Singapore is pretty much on that trend right now, right?
Yeah, it's I guess so because we still have in Singapore we actually split in terms of essential and non-essential services. So I think that I thought that it was really a good time now to start sharing how different countries' entrepreneurs are dealing with this COVID-19 situation, whether they are starting out as an entrepreneur now or already an entrepreneur or still planning to be an entrepreneur, you see.
Yeah.
So this will be, the main topic of today is really to talk about this COVID-19 impact. So not to delay further, I'm going to start off with the first question. So I just like to share, I think the first question is how did we know each other? So I start off with sharing that Rodric is my ex-colleague. So we are ex-colleagues from Thermo Fisher Scientific. So we have since left Thermo Fisher Scientific to seek off our own career path. And I think anything to add on, Rodric?
No. I remember that I met you because she's in Singapore and I'm in Malaysia, right? So the only way that we can meet each other is through annual dinner. So annual dinner is something that only permanent staffs get to go. Interns don't get to go. And I just got my acceptance letter. It's like 1 month before that, and then I was cordially invited to that annual dinner. So that's where I met you, to be honest with you. Because Sarah was at the reception. I went up to her like, "Hey, my name's Rodric." So that's how it's a pretty funny story,
Yeah, he actually called out the wrong name. I'm Sarah, I'm not Sharon. So he shouted like Sharon, and then that was like a very funny session that keeps everyone talking about it. Yeah. So it was very glad to meet Rodric. Yeah, and I learned from him, that he owns different kind of businesses, and I also learned what I learned about him and what I'm inspired by him is his bravery and courage to walk out to become an entrepreneur. After all, I'm still a corporate worker and working towards being an entrepreneur. So that is how I'm inspired, and I'm really honored to invite him today to share with me. Okay, because I'm at the stage of being safe. I'm unsure. I'm scared to walk out of a corporate working environment. I'm scared to even step out to become an entrepreneur. But you did. You make the difference. Okay, you step on to become an entrepreneur. And now with this COVID-19 impact, I'd like to highlight and question on what are the 3 points on COVID-19 has impact on your current business. Maybe you can share the current business you are currently having, and then how is this COVID-19 impacting your current businesses?
All right, thank you so much for this question. For coronavirus, right? Just a little bit background about myself. I run 2 businesses currently. One is on videography. So if you follow on my Instagram, you can see a lot of videos that I posted up. How it has impacted that business specifically? Well, I was performing a production company for equipment that something like they're selling insurance, so they are looking for equipment from people. So my job is to storyboard, write the story, shoot, direct, film, edits, post up, run on ad on Instagram, run digital marketing, and make sure that the people get engaged to the video, come back to the company and say, "Hey, I want to sign up to join your company." So what happened was that I was in the midst of shooting. We had 4 scenes. First scene, last scene, and the third scene was all done. We're down to the second last scene, and what happened was that Corona hit. MCO was announced. that was done. So I had to send out emails applying from government, like, can I go back to KL because I'm in Penang right now, and they said no because the whole movement control order, they don't want me to travel between interstates. So that's how it impacted me. Total value was about 3,500 for that case. So it's not gone, but it's just cannot be invoiced. You know what I mean? So that's the first business.
Your sales revenue.
Sales revenue cannot be invoiced, but just partially invoiced. You know what I mean? So I have to chase for that. Hopefully that things go on the better side. Then the other business that I run, this is primarily got to do with merchandise sales. So if you look behind me, right, you see what do you see? Like, do you know what those are?
Is it some kinds of like, okay, to me on the surface area, I think it looks like a CD or like an artwork, that kind of things that you can put it for decoration.
I know it's an artwork. Come on, guys. Guys, in the comment section down below, what do you guys think? What are those? Do you guys know?
Yeah. Like the CDs? What are those?
You don't know what this is? You don't know what that is?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Film in the whole world.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
You're selling products related to Star Wars. Okay, that's really interesting.
So I'm selling merchandises for Star Wars. These require me to ship out my merchandises, so I actually buy it from the bulk. So basically like drop shipping. So I buy it from overseas at a really cheap price and resell it into the local market for a slightly higher or markup price. So that has affected me like 1,008 over worth of products that's being stopped because I cannot ship it out due to MCO. In your case, Singapore, they call it CB, circuit breaker. In my case, in Malaysia, they call it MCO, movement control order. So because of that, I'm losing about like 5,000 worth of revenue, 5 to 6,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
5 to 6K of revenue.
Correct.
Wow, you are very statistically inclined. That's very good. I think everyone will be curious. Hey, how much in terms of dollar value we are looking at? Thank you for sharing. Okay, guys, I just want to share one very important part. Okay, Rodric is the youngest person that I'm going to interview in the next 3 days, and he's only yes, you are the youngest. I'm not serious. You're younger than me, right? Okay, I'm not going to divulge the age, but he's one of the youngest millennial entrepreneur I ever met. Okay, it is very brave and encouraging of him to come out to be a business owner at this at this stage, and I think it's something that we should all learn from. Yeah. So I'm going to move on to the next question. So in this COVID-19 impact, right? What have you done to exploit opportunities? Yeah, like in this kind of challenging, so-called environment, laws and regulation that is put in Malaysia. What have you done exactly? Yeah.
All right, that's a really good question. This is actually a very profound question to me because when you ask me that question, I can answer you in two aspects. The first aspect is onto a personal level, and the second aspect is how I go out to find revenue. Because of course, from the first point that we all talked about, I lost a lot of revenue, so how do I come from that? So the first point is about self-development. Being an entrepreneur, you have to be constantly being challenged to try out different things. So for this in mind, I've started an online course. This is something that I never had the chance to pick up because I was always busy before MCO. But because MCO came in, you have ample of time, and time is an asset that cannot be easily left out unattended. So what I did is that I've enrolled into an online course. It's fulltimefilmmakers.com. They would actually practice and teach different techniques of videography that has been very essential and can be used into expanding my business as far as I'm an emerging videographer. So that's an example of one of them for a personal level, as well as the second one is to spend more time with my family. So for most of you who are trapped at home, you may be seeing your family before MCO, before CB. But for me, I'm always very heart-driven in KL. I'm always striving to meet up new people, network to get revenue, that I often neglect my parents. And that's the one thing that I really bitterly regret. So when I come back here, it became like a fresh start. Do you know that coronavirus is like a reset button? It resets everything. So the conventional way of living now suddenly becomes unconventional. Then I get to spend more time with my parents. So that's on a personal level. So on the second part of it, right, about revenue, if you notice, because of MCO, we get time. And time for me to expand my own branding, to expand my work. So what I do is I actually post up regular videos on my Instagram to get audiences to get attracted to it, and then they will be asking me things like, "Hey, how do you do this video? That's really good. Can you teach me?" These are tractions, media tractions that you can gather. So you build your empire when you have time. Spend all the resources that you have, not all of it, but maybe 20% of it to build yourself. Make sure that you have a good foundation, grow your business, grow your name, make sure that people know you, because if nobody knows you, nobody can give you money. Because I don't know you, why would I want to give you money? I really don't know what you do. So convince your audiences that you are doing this, convince them by making sure that you post regularly or consistently to your channel. Make sure that your branding is good. So that's what I did.
Yeah, totally agree with that. I started this campaign, myself to bring across a positive impact, and also, ways and ideas of sharing and getting insights from entrepreneurs. How do they deal with such challenges and situations? So I do also face like an audience outreach issues, and I put in an effort to kind of like try to post on my different social media channels. Invite more entrepreneurs. I have a few more, okay, and I'm really happy that you're on board because you're one of the youngest entrepreneur. I'm sure you're one of the youngest that I will interview, and you definitely will be the youngest. Okay, so I believe that all of them are in different industry, and I think to me, coronavirus has impact all industry. It's not just whether it's positive or negative, but it definitely changed the way how people think business should be run. And also in this kind of thing, right? I think what you share makes sense. Like you take the time off to self improve yourself. Yeah, I just reiterate on what you have shared. Okay, you used to always go out to network and find people to purchase or support your business, but now you're spending more time in terms of self development to prepare yourself as an emerging video creator, and also now you are spending more time with your family, which you seldom used to as you are really busy with your business. And next one that you have shared is that in this coronavirus, what you did to try to make use of this time is to bring out your branding, to bring out your reputation, to show like being consistent and somewhat working towards a disciplined, consistent timeline of your video sharing, and sneaking for collaborations, and also getting your brand right out there, so that when coronavirus is over, it's a good time for you to strike the iron hot to then again, service or provide such services to your potential customer, who by then recovered all the businesses once need all this support from your end, right?
Yeah. 100%.
So thanks for sharing this. Yeah, I'm going to move on to the next question. Okay, is it all that you do you have any additional things to share?
No, you can move on.
Okay, so the next question is, what sort of working style or attitude would you put in your own business or for your customer? So we like to learn, okay, what kind of mindset, okay, or working attitude that you have been practicing or already practiced to ensure the quality of service you provide to your customers.
That's really good question. So for this kind of work ethic that I would normally practice is to practice, like what you say, a millennial style, right? We want to get in a personalized style of behavior for you. So let me put it this way, right? Talk about videography. Let's talk about videography. There are hundreds and thousands of people that does videography work every single day at a very low price. Some would even do it for free just so that they can get your attention, and then they will upsell their programs later on. So what can you stand out in a major environment, competitive environment, laden with opportunities everywhere or competitions everywhere, is that you make sure that your work is very personalized, which comes back to personal branding, something I mentioned very much earlier. If you have networked enough of people to know that when people say, I did videography work, hey, Rodric's a director, he did this for this firm, they will more often than not engage you compared to other people without even seeing your demo reel. Your demo reel is something that, as videographers, it's like our portfolio. We don't call it a portfolio, we call it a demo reel. So essentially, a strong demo reel can land you a job, but a stronger network, stronger connections, stronger name, right, your branding into the industry really solidifies this. For instance, let's talk about key KOLs. Are you familiar with the term KOLs?
Key opinion leader.
There you go. That's
I know that.
Very successful because of the personal branding that they carry behind. right? The personal branding itself, it's enough for companies to find them, to leverage them, so that their products can get into their audiences. Have you watched YouTube and you noticed that there's NordVPN, there's like G Fuel, and all of these companies on YouTube, they are trying to leverage audiences from people's channel so that they can get to the audiences like me or you. So that's essentially what are the styles I'm trying to work in, is to add more personalization towards my work. Make sure that my name comes up front first, or my name comes up towards the back. Right?
Personalization. Okay.
It's really cool. It's really cool. Yeah.
It's sort of like a strategy to be competitive in the market, right? Can I say so?
Yeah. Correct.
Okay, so in terms of this, right, what kind of mindset or attitude, besides just trying to make sure that you maintain a standard in this competitive industry, okay, what kind of mindset or attitude that you will actually give or talk to yourself before you even start working on all these standards? What kind of mindset? Is it like you're thinking of, what sort of things can I improve better? Like, how can I do more? This kind of mindset, or you have an alternative or additional mindset? Because you always hear like, entrepreneurs sharing, yeah, I'm passionate about my work, and I will do anything for this work or job. But in your perspective, is it also the same?
Yeah. Essentially, a passion is something that drives people. Entrepreneurs, they are either driven by two things. They are either driven by their passion or driven by revenue, and that's a fact. So if you're
that's exactly what I thought.
Right. So essentially, if you're an entrepreneur that is driven on revenue, you will do more cold calls, you will do more product information sharing and cold pitch and all of that. But in my case, I'm actually an entrepreneur that sells the fact that I have passion, that I want to integrate, and money is not a problem for me. Because in my mindset is that money is not a problem. Of course, money is a problem. But for me as an entrepreneur, I have to think of the way that money is not a problem. What would you do in your life? So you do it. And true enough, when you keep doing it again and again, money will not be a problem. You see? So that's the mentality that I'm actually going for. I've never started out like, oh man, money is a problem. What am I going to do? Because when you have money as a problem, as an issue, you'll be chasing for money. You'll be looking at, oh man, I'm working 40 hours a week, I get 1,500. Is that a good amount of money? Yes, that's really good. So then that is chasing money. But if you're chasing passion, you're chasing for your work. Make sure that your work reaches out to audiences, and audiences love your work. And true enough, when money is not a problem, when you chase passion, your passion will in a way turn into revenue. So that's the side of mindset that I'm actually going for. I'm actually really happy that you asked me this question, because most of people, they don't know this. They just want to chase money. When was the last time you look at your last paycheck and you're thinking, okay, 2,500 a month divided by how many hours I did? Then you count, 1 hour I made $8. So that's the wrong mentality that you should go for, because you're chasing money. You're exchanging time for money, which is something that I don't really go for. Instead, I chase for passion, and money comes in later. Yeah.
I think that is one of these interesting topics that I have been thinking on. It's like, what is your business objective? Are you running your business on passion or monetary? But today, Rodric, you have shared with me that what I can see is you are balancing between these two main objectives. Yeah. That you are taking the effort to put more focus on the passion more than monetary. You're focusing on putting quality to the videos for your clients to bring out their brand reputation, and also, which I find that is really good. It's like something that I would also choose to go towards doing passion over money. Yeah, so that's something that I think that I also observe that a lot of entrepreneurs take into monetary as the top priority, which I think that it's really nice and really great of you to actually trying to balance between these 2 points, but you still actually put passion before the monetary as the priority. Yeah. So okay, that's a very good learning lesson, and I hope that whoever is on the line with us, right? If you're running a business, this is something that you should also think back on yourself. Like are you running a business of monetary or passion? Because so far, when I observe and read a lot of articles, the only way to sustain and be more meaningful is running on passion, and money is important. So it's good that we balance between these two objectives while running business. Yeah. So I'm gonna move on to the next question. Okay. What are the 3 points of advice which you give to millennials who are already entrepreneurs or looking to be entrepreneurs like myself? Okay, these 3 points is different. Usually, it's given from older to the younger generation, but now I want to hear from a younger perspective of points. You, as an entrepreneur, what sort of 3 points advice you would give to people who are still like me, afraid to step out of my comfort zone to be an entrepreneur?
Okay. Well, first is to understand your passion. Sarah, you found your passion. To be honest, you're 80% of the way through. You found your passion. You found yoga is your thing. You even took licensing for a yoga practitioner. You're a licensed yoga practitioner. The next step is to venture in to explore more possibilities on this. You're 80% of the way through. You're already got a feet in. So what I can say is that number one, build a personality. There are hundreds and thousands of freelance yoga practitioners out there that can offer rates that are as competitive, if it's not more attractive than you, and they have a big portfolio to show for. For as an emerging entrepreneur, you have to understand that words volume speaks louder than yourself. Example, if you are going out to publicize your work, put it on Instagram saying, "Hi, my name is Sarah, I'm doing yoga instructor, please sign up, link in the description down below," your hit rate is going to be really low. It's because nobody can understand what you're going for. Like, they don't know who Sarah is. Make sure the first step is to make sure people know who Sarah is and know that she does yoga. So for instance, if you regularly post up on your Insta feed, make sure that you post it up every single day, if not once a week. Make sure there's consistent audiences engaged to you, and make sure that you give free content. Give free content because that's where people can understand your work. When people love your work, and that's when you offer your service at the back, right after your free content. I mean, you've seen the sales funnel, right? You put in media in. So this is the first layer. 1,000 people see your media that's free. 50 of them will click on the link, 5 of them will purchase your product, and finally 1 of them will be leaving a feedback, and the cycle continues. So this is a full sales funnel that you've probably heard it before. So that's what you want to do. Free content, get traction, squeezing page, and then you get your revenue. So as if what you can do is to provide free content. That's the summary of it. Second advice is to build your strength. So this is a quote that I used to have, and I live by it very true and true. The quote goes, "Build on your weakness, you will be likable. Build on your strength, you will be admirable." So what this quote says is that if you build on your weakness, say if I can't speak Mandarin and I build on it, I can speak Mandarin now, I'm likable. Like Sarah, "Hey Roger, you can speak Mandarin now?" I said, "Yeah, I learned it doing MCO. I'm likable." But if my strength is about public speaking, right? If they say I'm a good public speaker and I build on it, I will be admirable. I'll be known for that. I won't be known as the Rodric, the guy that learned Chinese during MCO, but I will be admired to the point where people think that, wow, his strength is he's building on his strength. So always emphasize on your strength, not on your weaknesses. Build on your strength, but grow your weakness. That's different, right? And the last advice is built on your personality. A very good personality is the one that attracts attention. Many would agree that Gordon Ramsay he's a really bad example, but what I'm trying to say is that his first step was to gain attention. His first step was to yell at people, scold people, curse at people, but it was successful, because he gained the attention that no other chefs in the world would do him, would replicate him, would question his works, would question his way of presenting himself. No one does that because he has become like the face of cooking. You see what I mean? So essentially, build on your personality. Make sure that you have a very strong personality. Make sure that you are grinding every single day. Make sure that you are presentable as well. So that's 3 steps on how an entrepreneur can actually stand out. That's about.
Thanks for sharing, Logic. I think it's really helpful. So I'm just going to reiterate. First is, find any entrepreneurs or aspiring entrepreneurs, find your passion. Okay, something that you would do anything or have a lot of drive and motivation to work on. The second one is to build your strength. Okay, which Rodric shared. Build on your strength. Okay, and grow on your weakness.
Correct.
Yeah. So that thing is, it has to be concurrently, okay? You should not leave any loopholes, right? You should keep continuously working hard because in my perspective, working hard is the one of these way to gain happiness and motivation to keep on going and bring positive impact in others' life. Yeah. So the third one is lastly, in terms of come up with a personal strategy of how you're going to launch. This is what my understanding is. Okay, like you spot an example, Gordon Ramsay. Okay, he's able to gain attention because he's able to do and nobody questions his capability. Okay, that is somewhat like I would say build a personal reputation.
Correct.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, build a personal. Okay, so now, we are moving to reaching 30 minutes. So I'm going to wrap up with, in this 5 minutes, I'm going to wrap it up with asking a challenging question. Okay, so I'd like to know, I think this is a fun question. Okay, I see that, from my perspective and my ex-colleague's perspective, we all feel that Rodric is good looking. So we'd like to know, what kind of ladies do you like?
Oh no, dude, you told me it's gonna be an entrepreneur-based question. Okay.
Correct, but it's a challenging question. It has to be something surprising and engaging enough, right?
No, man.
Because we have been formal in the last 25 minutes. I just want to be more informal now.
Thank you for that. What kind of girls that I like? As an entrepreneur, I appreciate someone that can see the value of something that doesn't exist yet. Let's put it into perspective, right? The work of videography did not exist until when I worked for Thermo Fisher, like my ex-company, because I saw the need for me to stand out from the crowd. Like, if I was gonna spend the rest of my life working for a company, it's not building up my own legacy, it's actually building up somebody else's legacy. And for me, the money is not that important for me. Like, I judge, I'm getting like 2,500 wage every month. So I'm getting like 15 ringgit per hour. I've never seen that as something to be proud of. Not because it's a small amount, it's actually a respectable amount. But it's because I find that my hours there can be put in somewhere different. And I actually strive for passion and not money. I strive for passion. So during this period, right, when I was still with my ex, she was a person that never understood this concept. She was a person that says, "Wait, 15 ringgit 1 hour, that's a good deal. Why are you so stupid? Why you left your job and why did you go for something different?" That's because she doesn't see the future of this. So 2 years later, now I'm getting brand deals, now I'm getting my own customer, I started my own company, I have 2 different companies. So the thing is, I'm looking for someone that can actually support the mentality that I have, which is essentially to spark, to reinvigorate the way of thinking, right? Because I don't go by the conventional norms, I actually go off-road. And therefore, I'm actually looking for people who are always positive, encouraging, loving, caring, and most of all, just being true to herself.
Okay, so I will wrap it up with this. I'll wrap it up. Yes, exactly. It's a surprise question that will be interesting. So I'm going to wrap up in 2 minutes. So what I'm going to say here is, right, okay, everyone here, okay, I think it's a very nice and fun session with Rodric. So if any one of you in future, you are still working in corporate company in either Singapore or Malaysia, need a video creator, please show some support, okay, to Rodric's Instagram channels. And I'm looking forward to also view more new upcoming videos from your end, especially I think I'm quite inspired by the dalgona coffee. I have not tried it, but okay, I'll work towards that. Okay, and thank you for your time. Okay, I'm left with 2 minutes. So I see that people are dropping off. So what I will do here is I will be summarizing all these pointers that you shared on my LinkedIn and my social media. So LinkedIn is a more B2B place, and I'm looking towards to coming out with podcasts and also these LinkedIn live videos. So I hope that in the next round, I can invite you again to join me on all this. So let's create a positive impact together. And for anyone who is also looking for collaboration, feel free to reach out to both of us. Okay, we'll be happy to share with you a different perspective of views and keeping this positive impact while we are trying to get over this challenging COVID-19 situations, whether you're working from home, trying to look for inspirations, or you're trying to get more collaborations. All right, so I'll end here with 1 minute. Thank you so much, Rodric. You are the youngest
thank you, Sarah, for
interviewee
inviting me
I
to
ever
the
had.
show.
Yeah. So I look forward to everyone joining in the next few videos. And yeah, thank you, Rodric. Have a good day. I will be sharing the pointers and I'll share with you before I share it out to my audiences in
Sarah.
different platforms. Yeah.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye.